right, hey, John Bollinger, we're on the floor at NAMM. I'm with Reeves Gabrels with his new signature Reverend guitar. Reeves, good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
Tell me all about this sexy new signature.
Well, this, I have the Space Hawk and the RG, which are more, they have more options, more pickups, more things like that. But for years with my friends and I, we, would say, well, what'd you use on the gig? And we go, well, we dirtbiked it, or I dirtbiked it, which dirtbike came to mean one pickup, cable into the amp, that's it, which keeps you honest. And when I get done with touring with The Cure, when I used to get done with stuff with Bowie, I used to, first thing I did was when I got home was pull out my Les Paul Jr. and that's all I would play, because I didn't want to look at any more pedal. Everyone always thinks of me as a pedal guy and an effects guy. I said to Ken one night, he goes, "What are you using?" I was in Nashville, I was playing with some friends of mine. I said, without thinking, I said, I'm going to use the Dirtbike. And he was like, "What's the Dirtbike?" And I was using their Sensei Junior. And so he was like, "Oh, that's a good name for a guitar." And ever since I was, old enough to get around on two wheels, I had a Schwinn, which is sitting right there, and I still have mine. And it was this color blue. And then when I got to be 14, I got an actual dirt bike, and that was this color blue. And to me, the dirt bike thing is like, you got a good power plant, which would be the pickup, and it's pretty much, it's like, being dropped behind enemy lines with a penknife and a book of matches. It's all, you're basically getting by on your wits. And I had never had a guitar that was 24 3/4 scale that had a Strat trem, so we decided to put a Strat trem on it. And then I worked with Joe on this pickup, and I'm a P90 fan, but I particularly like Steve Hunter and Dick Wagner, and I love that thing that you get on the front of a note with a P90, where you get a little bit of that the pick kiss, but it's almost harmonic. It's a rich sound. And my favorite bridge pickups have always not sounded great as clean pickups. So I said to Joe, I said, I'd like it to have a mid-range hump in it so that it's almost notched a little bit, and I don't really care about what it sounds like clean. But he came up with this pickup that does all those things, but clean. It actually has just a nice tone to it, and combined with the stock bass roll-off,
so that's the mystery knob, the bass roll.
And it's on all Reverends, I think, except for the Pete Anderson. And with you can hear it clean when you take it out. Wow. And with gain, it just but you can also get you get a little bit of that kind of fat telly sound out of it too.
Right.
But to me, this guitar is like, just like my dirt bike and my Schwinn bicycle. It's like freedom. It was like once you got a bike, you get off the leash.
That's great. That's great.
And that's the idea behind this. And we did the 6 on a side. And the one thing about Reverends is, I've been playing them now for 8 years, and I had the option to play just about anything, but I like guitars that don't have a previous history. It's one of the reasons why I used Steinbergers in the early days, and then when with Parker's was every time you pick up a guitar, you're picking up the history of the people that used it. And like, you know, if you pick up a Strat, you're already dealing with Hendrix and Beck. You know, and we've already got enough problems just trying to play the instrument. So, well, I was drawn the Reverend for that reason. But it's a linear taper volume pot. I mean, sorry, audio taper. But it also has a treble bleed, so you can. Sorry, the bass is rolled up. But you can really get. So if you're playing through, you know, your 50-watt Plexi Marshall and you've got it railed, you can really ride the volume and get, you know, what I always think of as Leslie West clean. You know. You know, and it's all under your hands. You know, and then we also routed out the behind the bridge, so you get. And you get a half, the way they're set up, you get a half step on the E string, a whole step on the B string, a minor third on the G string, a whole step on the D and the A string, and a minor third on the low E string. So I know if I'm going across, I mean, I have to play way less. I can just play one note and get, you know.
Wow, that's great.
You know.
And it pops right back in tune, which is pretty amazing.
Oh no, I mean, I was never a Floyd Rose fan, and increasingly over time, possibly because when in the early days I played Steinbergers, and then Parker's didn't have a locking system, and I basically, you know, when I get going, I'm pretty hard on the instrument and I'm hard on the vibrato bar, and with the locking tuners and the graphite nut, the white graphite nut, and there's no tuning issues.
Wow, that's great.
I mean, I can go a whole set without having to tune. I mean, I will check it occasionally just because it shows you care, but I don't really have to worry about that. And it's you know, it's a 2-knife edge, so it comes right back, and it's Wilkinson, and there's also the claw in the back. Let me ask, hey Joe, what do you call the claw?
That's called the Reeves Gabrels Dirtbike.
Yeah, but what's the claw called? You have the special claw in there with the.
Oh, that is called the Veraclaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the hooks. There's 4 hooks in the middle. Hey, you're over there. The 4 hooks in the middle are in standard position, and the 2 on the outside are moved back a few millimeters. So it allows you to use either 3 springs or 2 springs without having to adjust the claw. You simply put the 2 springs on the outside and automatically adjust the tension. So you have the option between using 2 or 3 springs. 3 springs obviously is stiffer, and the 2 springs is a little softer touch if you just want to get a little crazier. Yeah, the Veraclaw, it's exclusive.
How many springs are you running?
3. But you know, it's typical Joe that he's always thinking of how to make stuff better, this is the first guitar to have my signature model bridge pickup, and we're making actually a neck and bridge, and it's an Alnico 5.
Wow, that's great. And do you know what the body is made up with? The wood?
It's Carina.
Oh, really?
And the fretboard is this Blackwood, which is a city compatible wood, because you know people are having problems with rosewood and everything else. But I said Carina, I meant Koa. But it basically sounds, you know, it's got that it's got that. What's the wood that is normally used? The on like an SG.
Like rosewood, ebony.
The body though, I'm blanking. Yeah, it sounds like the koa sound. The koa sounds like mahogany, but it's not as heavy. You know how you get that real,
Sure.
And it's, often you'll put a maple cap to kind of put a little bit of top on it. This sort of sits in that place without the maple cap.
Very cool. And when will this be available?
It's available now. This is the unveiling of it.
Oh, awesome. And where can people find it?
Wherever Reverends are sold, or you can in Nashville, I think Corner Music has it. In New York, Rudy's in New York City, and Collar City Guitars up in Troy. Those are the ones that I know about, but they're all over the place now.
Yeah, and I'm sure go to reverend.com, you'll find all that jazz.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, Reverend's a good place to go to find out what the specs are. It's a 12-inch radius. It's their Pinlock tuners, which I like them. Of all the locking tuners I've tried, there's something about the Pinlocks where I've actually taken other on like Strats and stuff that I've had. I've taken the locking tuners I've had on that off and put the Pinlocks on.
I like their old school look from the front. You would never know they were locking tuners from the front.
No, that's part of it, but it definitely it makes me happy because it reminds me of like my happier, simpler days of tearing it up on my dirt bike, it's with that Variclaw system and everything, you can almost get into like Bixby territory. But and again, by rolling with all that gain I had, if I just roll it back, it's got...
Beautiful. Well, Reeves, congrats, man. That's awesome.
Thanks. It's like, I can't believe that they've put up with me this long, but they...
Well, you're a big deal, man. All right, check out the dirt bike. You want to do something to play us out? Play us out some crazy stuff?
I kind of just woke up.